Hi guys, Scotty here with another DBZ Dokkan Battle video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the punching bag event, mainly stages 1, 2 and 3, that don't allow you to use items and require you to do a certain amount of damage so you can get dragon stones. I'm going to be taking you through how to build a nuking team from start to finish so you can build your own team, but if that doesn't interest you too much and you just want your dragon stones right now and to complete the event, just click in the description. There should be chapters. You can go straight to the team, build that team, finish the event, and that's totally up to you. Otherwise, let's get into it and how you nuke. So firstly, what is nuking? Nuking is doing so much damage with one unit that you've specifically selected and built a team around that you just immediately finish the event or kill the boss in one or two turns, pretty much. So that's what nuking is. You need to build an entire team around it. Sometimes you can use items, not in this stage I'm going to be showing you, but you can use items as well sometimes. You need support, you need attack. So let's get into what you need to build a good nuking team. So there are 4 essential concepts, plus a 5th that you're going to need if you want to build a good nuking team. You need your nuking lead, you need your orb changers, you need your attack support, you need the nuker, and then you need items if you're allowed to use items. So these are all the current nuking leads for each type. Obviously if you've got a fire nuker, you want the fire lead as well. Tech nuker, you want the tech lead, so on and so forth. So these are the units you're going to want to use and the percentages that they provide per orb required. So currently the ones you don't want to be using are the 33%. You don't want to miss out on that extra 2%. So make sure you're using the 35% leads if you have them. I did include the 33% leads just in case you don't have the others. And maybe you want to use an STR or an in team and you only have those units. So they're going to do a little bit less damage, 2%. And that can be, it does compound. So it's not the greatest. But yeah, go for the higher ones if you can. What they're going to do is they're going to provide a leader skill to all units that for every single type orb that unit gets, they get an attack boost. So if they get 10 type orbs, they're going to get 35% on 35% on 35% all the way up to 10. If they get 20, same thing, and it compounds, so it's exponential. So it rises 35% on the 35% on the 35%. So the more you get, it exponentially the damage increases. So you want to be in a situation where you're providing your main nuker unit with as many of its type orbs as possible. And that's why we're going to go into orb changes next. So you can change orbs, get them all to the correct typing that you need for your unit, and then you can fire off a nuke. Alrighty, so for each type there are multiple orb changes. I've just given you 3 from each type that I selected. What I'll also do is just before we jump into the actual fight itself, I will show you how you can easily find all these things in game. Orb changes, nukers, nuke leads, all of that. Through the filtering system, you can find all of this very easily in game. I'll just quickly run through that before we do anything, so you can, if you don't have any of these units, you can look for others. But what these guys are going to do, and specifically these ones that I've chosen, is they change any type of key sphere into the type of key sphere that is their typing. So STR Piccolo at the top there, he's going to change other orbs into STR orbs. STR Majin Buu, Tech Perfect Cell there is going to change orbs into Tech orbs. Trying to avoid rainbow orbs, you don't really, they can be helpful, but again you don't get an attack boost from a rainbow orb. So try to avoid rainbow orb changes. You're looking for type orb changes. And even if you don't have orb changes that change any type of orb to that type orb, it can still help to fill out the team with, say, if you have a tech nuker change from int to tech, you still, if you get 4 or 5 int orbs in a rotation, then you're going to still get those 5 orbs now changed to tech. So you definitely want to be looking for those. Try to avoid the chance to change orbs, because there's already a lot of RNG involved in these stages. You don't want another layer of RNG to be involved, so try and look for it where it just says changes from any orb to a certain type orb, and that's where you're going to get your best value out. So these are the orb changes. Next we're going to move on to the attack supports. So your attack supports, while not as essential as the orb changes, can still be a very big help. What they're going to do is they'll have passive skills where it'll say raises allies attack by 30 or 40% or lower or higher, but generally you're looking for at least 30 or 40% to be meaningful. And what they'll do is if you can get 1 or 2 attack supports on rotation with your nuker and they already are able to get their orbs, then you're going to just do a huge amount more damage. So they're not as essential as the Orb Changers. You'd rather have more Orb Changers and maybe 1 or 2 attack supports. Where you can really win is if you can get some attack support with Orb Changing. It's a bit more rare, but you can have those. So yeah, look at your attack supports that you have, throw some on the team, and you may just get RNG where the previous rotation you've now changed all your orbs into what you need, you rotate around to your Nuker, and that second rotation has your Nuker and 2 attack supports. You're just going to get that much more damage with the attack support. So you want to fill out your team mainly with Orb Changers, then your Nuker, and then maybe 1 or 2 attack supports so that you can further boost your Nuker's damage. Next, we're moving on to units you can actually select as Nukers, and their main thing you're going to be looking for in their passive is that they gain more attack and can be defense, but you're mainly looking for attack on gaining key. So you also want to make sure that they don't have a limit. So a lot of the newer units and EZAs or big units, they're not specifically Nukers, and they will say key, they'll say something like attack plus 10% up to 77%, if we're talking about like the LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta that recently EZA'd. They can get a boost, and you think they're a Nuker, but they have a limit on their 77%. You're looking for units that gain attack and mainly attack, and they have no limit at all. So, like for instance, STR Piccolo, I think it said he gains 40% attack per key sphere. That's quite a high amount that he gains already. So you want to be looking for those higher end ones if you can, 35%, 40% if you can higher. I actually think that's STR Boo as well, it does 40%. No, STR Boo is 50% with the EZA. So, for instance, every key sphere they're going to benefit from the leader skill as well as their own nuking in their passive. And that's going to be infinite. So if you give them 20 key spheres, you can just imagine that that's all compounding and adding to even more attack. So these are just some Nukers I've chosen to easily give you an idea, but again, you can very easily find this in Dokkan with the filter settings, and I'll take you through that after the next item, which is the next items that you'll need, which are items. So when nuking, if you are allowed to use items, which you won't be in the first 3 stages of the punching bag event that I'm going to show you, but if you can use them, these are going to be your best nuking items. These items provide, firstly, key changing, so orb changing. They'll randomly change key spheres of all types to their typing. So for instance, Lemo will change all types of key spheres to STR type, and Monica's head and all of that, Chi-Lai down there, they'll all respectively change to their respective typing of key orbs, plus they'll give you an additional 5% attack per key sphere that you gain. So you pop them, just takes a little bit of the RNG out of key changing in that, and just helps a little bit. So these are the items you're going to want to use. There are other items that can change, say, from Intertech or from a certain type to another type, but they don't provide damage, they don't provide attack boosting per key sphere. So these are really the best items that you need to be using if you want to do nuking and you're allowed to use items. Okay, so as promised, let me take you through the filter settings and show you how you can actually find all these units without looking them up constantly online. So let's say you're looking for a nuking lead. We are going to want to come down here, make sure you've selected leader skill at the top there, and then you want to say leader skill, raise attack by key sphere. Okay, so we click OK. Now either you can further refine that, say you're looking for an STR team here. Okay, now here are your units that are going to be super STR type attack plus 35%, attack and defense plus 15% there. So those will be your STR nuking leads. You can do the same thing for all the other types. Now if we're going to be looking for orb changes, we want to change back to passive skill here, and you want to look for change key spheres here. Okay, and then again, it's very likely that if whatever the typing is, they'll change to their own typing, or rainbow. It will be rainbow orb changes as well. So again, let's go, if we're building an STR team, change key spheres, STR, and there we go. So now we've got, we know Goku here. If we go through here, randomly changes key spheres of a certain type, STR concluded, to STR key spheres. So he's an orb changer we could use for our STR team. Let's check Vegeta here as well. It's just about going into the passives and saying, see, this is a rainbow orb changer, so he's not really the orb changer that you're looking for. And if we go to, say, someone like Bulma here, also again rainbow key spheres, so you're not really looking. So that's how you can find your orb changes. And let's go through next, and we want to find our attack supports. So that again is going to be on your passive skill. You're going to want to look for raising attack on key. Okay, no, so that's for the actual nuke. Sorry, we're gonna want to look for a raising attack of. Apologies, it's boost all if I remember. So either it can be boost category, which is a bit more going to be a bit more specific, or boost type. But our boost all is just a catch-all one. So again, we're going to go STR here, and let's grab, let's say, Bulma here. Go into her passive, and you'll see 5 or more key spheres obtained, all allies key +3 and attack and defense +37. So that's pretty good. You do need to get key spheres with her, but so that's a bit of a problem if you're gonna have your Nuker on the same team. You're gonna have to give orbs to her, so maybe not the best decision there. Let's take a look at another one, maybe Vegito here. So you see, it's just about using those filters and then coming in. There we go. As a second or third one to obtain key spheres, they'll provide key +2 and attack +40%. So he's a great attack support for you to use for STR as well. Okay, and lastly, if you're just looking for nukers themselves, again you want passive skill, and then you want to come down here to raising attack with key sphere. Now you should easily be able to find anyone. Let's go STR again. Now you should easily be able to find people who raise their attack and defense, but mainly attack, because that's what we selected. Yeah, so this Majin Buu good here, he is for every STR key sphere obtained, attack and defense +50%. So that is then how you find your actual nuke, if you're wondering who can nuke. So let me take you through the team quickly that I've chosen here that we're going to use to finish this event. So Trunks is obviously going to be our Nuking leader. He's providing us that full 35%. He is easy aid, so just make sure that any of the units that you've chosen, generally you want to be maxed easy aid. It's not always necessary, but the majority of the time they're going to perform better. And what I mean by that is, like Orb Changers, obviously they may just orb change. The orb changing may not change for the easy aid, so it's not that it's going to matter. Like for instance, I haven't finished his super attack on this unit because there's no need. I'm just using him for his leader skill. He doesn't need to attack. So that's what I mean by orb changes. They don't always have to be easy aid, but if they get better when they're easy aid, if they provide more orb changing, obviously you want them easy aid. We've then got Vegeta on here, Vegeta Blue, and why I've got him is he's going to be our orb changing, so he's changing rainbow types to fire types, because rainbows are not going to help us at all in nuking ever. So he's going to be a nice changer there. Here's our Nuker, Super Saiyan Goku GT, and he just easy aid. So this is going to be a great unit to use for that. And you can see that he is getting 30% attack and a chance to perform critical hit 10% per key sphere obtained. So that is ridiculous, because crit is going to be very essential for making sure you do the extra damage to the punching bag, and then attack 30% is great. So this is probably the best unit right now to use for this event. So Super Saiyan Goku, I hope you have him. Again, I did give a couple of options if you don't. So whereas always on fire teams, he is providing, so he's a double orb changer, so tech and int to fire, as well as he provides, he does provide support, but not to this team. We don't have Fusion or Realm of Gods on as our Nuker. So yeah, he's just going to be a good orb changer. Kefla here as well, another orb changer, so she will have a chance into fire, and that's it. Yeah, she could also be a Nuker. She does have 20%. She does have 20% attack and defense for every key sphere obtained, so you could use her. She's a little bit more on the lower end though. And then lastly, the free-to-play LR Goku. He's just going to sit there and provide extra attack and defense on rotation. So you can see here, all allies key +3 and attack and defense 40%. So that is what a nuking team looks like. So let's jump into the event quickly and take a look, see how we do. Okay, so let's actually go into the event here, and I'll give you guys a showing of, okay, let's do stage 1, 2, and 3. Let's do the first stage here. Go in, we're going to find our team here that we did earlier. We're actually going to be looking for, specifically for fire here, you could obviously just find another Trunks, but I know that Vegeta is an orb changer here, so rainbow to fire, so he's going to be very helpful if we can find him as a lead as well. I think the one I saw last time was way down at the bottom here. Okay, so you see this one here? It's easy aid, so level 140. So you want to try avoid using the level 121, so you're going to miss out on a bit of, it's not the end of the world, but as it's exponential, those 2% are going to add up over time. So try grab 140, so you know these easy aid, and let's jump right into it and give it a try.
Alright, let's do this.
Okay, so we're looking like we've got a good rotation right off the bat. Now why is that? We want to set up the board for Goku in our next rotation, most likely. So, okay, so that's fantastic. Look where Goku is sitting in the second rotation, right between 2 Orb Changers. So the next rotation is going to be fantastic. Make sure that you select the correct typing for this. Easy to forget that. So fire, it's going to be good versus int. Going to make sure we do that. And now we are going to try and clean this up for Goku in the next stage, so that it's going to be just a board full of fire orbs. So yeah, I'm going to take that, and then we're going to grab all of those as well. And he's going to get a complete board of just fire in the next turn. Okay, perfect. So there we go, and thank goodness. I thought those were all going to just stay rainbow. Okay, so I'm going to put him in first slot here. Obviously, we want to give him every orb we can. 15 orbs, just slide across and make sure you're getting as many. I think you need maybe 18, but he has been easy 8, so let's see. We're going to give him all the orbs we possibly can. He should also get a guaranteed crit now, because of his passive skill where he gains 10% crit each time. And then let's just see where we go. Let's see what damage we're doing to the punching bag there. 60 million. Okay, with a crit, this should do it. Yeah, there we go. So done. So you can see we got pretty lucky with the RNG on there. Not that it's going to take you a very long time to get set up or to get a rotation like that. You just pretty much just need Goku to come in on your second rotation, or your Nuker to come in on your second rotation, so you can spend your first rotation actually setting up the board and letting your Orb Changers work a bit. So that's what you want to do. That's where the RNG comes in. So yeah, and there we go. That should be it. But there you have it. That is how you set up a full nuking team. That is how you can build your own one. I hope this helps people build their teams as well. It's amazing how many tools we have available in Dokkan, but it's just they're never really explained by anybody. Well, not by anybody, but they're never really presented super easily to you. But the filter settings can pretty much build any team you need, and you can find who's raising attack, your Orb Changers, your attack supports, all of that. But yeah, you saw there we did that with no attack support, but that was because, I mean, Goku has recently Easy 8, and that crit helped us big time as well. It just completely took us up to the damage we needed. So that is how you build a nuking team and you beat the punching bag event with your team. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, you're awesome. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Cheers!